Hi, I'm Beth,
Hi, I'm Ashley.
and we're Shelf Care.
Today we're going to be going over Quicksilver by Callie Hart.
So, I think we're going to start with our predictions for the next book, and then we'll kind of go into like the plot and everything.
Yes. So if you haven't read this book, come back after you read it because there will be spoilers.
Definitely.
So starting out with my prediction for the next book, so kind of giving you a little bit of the ending. It kind of ended with her killing the Vampire King, which is Malcolm. And so she killed him, and so now she's the Vampire Queen, which is kind of like a crazy rule, don't you think?
Yes.
Like if you kill that person, now you're in charge of all the vampires.
Which, if you think about it, that's how they always write werewolf stories. So
that is true.
I guess it kind of goes.
I kind of like it though. It's different than from having an heir or type of thing. So anyway, I think that obviously it's gonna be like about how she gets on with it, and so I think it'll be like her conquering just like the kingdom, and seeing her relationship with Kingfisher progress, and I'm really looking forward into that. And
do you think there'll be a war, like an impending?
Well, I mean, they kind of ended it a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like they kind of ended the war. They didn't
kill everyone though.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Magda got away, didn't she?
Yes.
Magda got away, so there has to be
something that goes on.
Like she trying to kill her or something.
And do you think she'll go back for her brother in the second book?
Yes. Yeah. Which honestly, like that kind of bothered me because in the beginning she was so like my brother, and then she was like comfortable. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah. Girl, like I'd be freaking out. Like, where's my brother?
I think there'll be a journey to Zinsilver.
Yes.
Zinsilver.
Zilvarian,
something like that. Yeah. I think there'll be a journey. I think that we're gonna find something out about Elroy. I think that he's gonna play a bigger role in the next book. I'm not I don't know. Like, I just have this feeling that there's more to his story.
Yeah.
I honestly, for a little bit, thought maybe he was Kingfisher's father, but I don't think so.
Well, he died.
Well, that's what they think. I mean, I'm sure that he did. Now I don't think that Elroy is that person, but because they would have known if he was Fae. But in the middle, I was kind of like, But I think Elroy's going to play a bigger role in the next book. I hope he does, actually.
I hope that in this next book we'll see more of Renfis and Everlane.
Lane, yeah, I think so.
I hope that they finally get together or whatever.
Well, so I've kind of got the vibe that they were together in the beginning, but then
not really.
They weren't. So I don't know. That'll be fun. Going into a little bit more of the book, did you feel like Kingfisher was a bit of a knockoff Rhysand?
I mean, just a little, but I feel like I didn't really compare it. Like looking back at it a little bit, but like while I was reading, I wasn't comparing it.
The only times I compared it were the shadows, the darkness, and then the tattoos. But when they explained that the tattoos were part of their mating bond and the god bond, that made a little bit more sense because he didn't put the tattoos on her. Yeah. They were just there. But when it was happening and I thought he was putting the tattoos on her, I was kind of like, but
it's a little weird. To me, I mean, you related it kind of to like Rhysand and Akatar, and to me at the beginning, I kind of was relating it to Powerless.
Okay.
By Lauren Roberts.
Okay.
Which I was not the biggest fan of that book, so when I first started reading this one, I was like, oh, I hope this is not the same.
See, and once I got into this book, I'm going to say once she... I don't know, I was kind of almost immediately into it. When she stole the gauntlet.
I was too. After like the first like 2 chapters, I was like, okay, yes, I like this book. Because I was like, it's when she started like cussing, I'm like, okay, it's not YA.
Yeah.
I was like, thank God.
I really loved that she was a street rat or like a, lower third level, whatever. I really loved that. I loved the family dynamic that she was basically an orphan. Well, she was an orphan.
Well, she was, yeah.
And she was taking care of her brother.
What did you think of her mom, though?
Being a lady of the night.
Yes.
That was hard for me. Because I almost feel like So it's one thing to be a lady of the night, but it's another thing to also start smuggling swords and all this stuff. Like, you're all your children have. And then after she was caught and killed, like, her children had nothing.
Well, and her death was like so traumatic, just like in the middle of the square. You know?
And what do you think about how when people are executed in the third, what do they call them? It's not quadrant. It's like a spoke, like a wheel spoke thing.
I know what you're talking about.
But yes, in the third. What do you think about them letting
section?
Yes, third section. Yeah. What did you think about them letting their dead rot in the street?
I thought that was a little, I don't know,
disgusting.
It was pretty gross. I was like, how do you not like? Why didn't the guards like pick them up, or I don't know.
Well, I think it's like a sign.
I mean, I get it. Yeah, but that has to smell.
I didn't love that. But yeah, that was traumatic, but I feel like it was necessary for her. It's kind of like, not relating this. This book is nothing like Throne of Glass.
Yeah.
But her story is kind of like Aylin's story. She had to go through tragedy to become who she was. Yeah. So, and I like that. I like a strong female character. Yeah. And I do feel like she wasn't a weak female character. Like, Kingfisher never was like stronger than her.
Mm-hmm, which I liked.
So, I liked that.
Yeah. I did like that. I also liked how she learned how to fight, and like, you know, she was like the talk of the town, like no one was to be like messing with her and stuff.
I did love that. When she walked into the bar, everyone was like,
yeah,
you know,
what did you think of Carrie and Swift?
Okay, actually,
before we really knew him.
Well,
like at the bar.
At the bar, I mean, I just kind of thought he was into her. I honestly kind of thought they were going to end up together.
A little bit, because I'm like, why does he keep popping up?
Yes, because he kept popping up, and I thought they were going to end up together. And then there was just more to them than a one-night stand.
Yeah.
You know? And so I was like, ooh, okay. So I was actually really intrigued by him. I never disliked him.
I don't think I ever disliked him either. I did think, well, I thought he was a little annoying at first, but then once he was like talking about how he just didn't want to bring attention to their section to cause the people bad, I was like, okay, he's a good guy.
But I also didn't think he was going to be one of the main characters.
Yeah.
And I didn't think he was going to be so important. The next book, you know, he's going to be important.
No, yeah. Well,
the heir.
Heir.
Yeah. So.
And he knew the whole time.
Yeah, that was wild. I did not see that coming.
He just didn't have a place to go back. I mean,
that was wild. And I don't know. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe we were going to get a love triangle when they brought him instead of her brother, but we ended up getting more than that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That was cool. And I'm kind of excited to see his story.
I am too. And I'm excited to see maybe he can find someone to be with.
I think so.
He's such a flirt. I'd love to see him settle down.
I did love him. Like, just all of the things. And then him not taking him to the witches because...
Oh, I know. Because he would try... And why are witches like this, like, bad thing?
I know. And, yeah. That was definitely...
No. I don't know. One of my favorite things in the book was whenever they had kind of, like, their little... alone time in that other city that they went to, and they went to his mom's apartment.
That was sweet. That was a so sweet moment. Honestly, that was definitely one of my favorites. And when they went back, their last night, or what Kingfisher thought was going to be their last night. Him
sacrificing himself is just such a move, you know?
I know.
So what did you think of the villains?
I thought, I don't know, the trio was weird.
I thought it was a different take.
I don't know. It was hard for me because I really didn't expect them to be linked.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was good. It was different. It was nothing like anything before.
I thought it was a good, I was shocked.
Instead of there just being one villain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're they kind of, they're siblings, aren't they?
That's what they kept calling each other.
I don't know if it's, really siblings, but they kept saying that.
Yeah. So, I did like them. I did like their kind of...
Mm-hmm. I mean, I knew there was going to have to be, something, because when they first started talking about Queen Mandra and how she,
didn't die, but she was so old
for like forever. I was like,
but she wasn't Fae.
Yeah. I was like, make it make sense. And then her getting captured and being like about to die by the captain, and the captain didn't die, you know?
That was interesting. And that was one of the moments I really loved because, I mean, in the very beginning, she showed how strong she was because she almost did.
She almost did.
I think she could have defeated him if she was, not bound.
Yeah, if she like was aware of like Quicksilver and what it did.
Well, and I mean, I think her arms were bound the whole time.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was cool. I loved how it came together in the labyrinth, where he had been making her find the Quicksilver the whole time, every time she worked with it, and then in the labyrinth she had to find it. So that was cool. It was, like he knew they were going to be there.
Yeah.
So overall, what would you have rated this book?
I mean, I did rate it 5 stars. I think it was kind of more of like the experience for me because I always rate on experiences. I think when I read it, it was like I was so into it. That's why I rated it 5. Maybe now thinking back on it, I could rate it 4. Not because I feel like there's anything missing, but just I don't feel like it's like as high quality as like my favorite series.
Yeah.
You know?
I think 4.5 for me. Because I did love it. Yeah. It was entertaining, well written. I loved the differences, but some of it was a little reused for me. And I don't think that's her fault.
It's just we've read so many.
Yeah, I think it's just... But I did like that she didn't just keep Fae. Like, it wasn't just the Fae. I
love the bringing back the vampire element, because nobody does that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Fae and vampire elements together. So that was good. And I liked that the vampires used to be Fae. So that was cool.
Yeah.
I definitely think I'll read the second one.
I think I will too, especially if it's on Kindle Unlimited. Yeah. And what I really liked about this, it was like, I don't know if I got the Audible book, but I kind of like went back and forth, and I love how Audible like connects to your Kindle Unlimited app.
That is so fun.
Just kind of like fast forwards to where you've been.
I feel like that might be a new thing because I don't think it used to do that.
I don't think so either, and I love it.
Yeah, that's definitely a perk to having Audible and Kindle Unlimited. So, not that we're sponsored, but so that's our honest opinion. Yeah. But yeah, definitely will read the second book. I think it was a 4.5 for me. And let's say one more thing. Who was your favorite character?
I feel like I'll have to go with Ceres.
Really?
The main girl. I liked her. I like a strong character. And I mean, I think she carried herself pretty well.
Yeah. I honestly think it was between Kingfisher and Carrion. Carrion was just, he had very Riddick energy.
You love Riddick.
I do love Riddick. So I don't know, like he definitely had like a charisma. Almost Dorian-like as well.
Yeah.
Almost. So like
Dorian.
Just the little like pieces of my favorite characters. Not that he was reused or anything, but I just feel like it gave me that vibe.
I feel like honestly, like Carrion had more charismatic to me than Kingfisher did.
Yes.
Like I wasn't like, I love the main male characters and I'm usually like obsessed with them, and I feel like I really wasn't.
I wasn't obsessed with Kingfisher for sure. Like I would not be like, oh yeah, he's my new book boyfriend.
Yeah.
I just liked that there was more to him than we saw. Like he was mysterious. And
maybe he'll open up in this next book.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get a Kingfisher point of view. Probably
that would be that'd be interesting.
It would be. I really loved the Quicksilver and
the gods. I love
all of that.
Books with like God related thing, because it's just like so like they're kind of like the little puzzle makers and everything.
For sure. But yeah, I overall thought this book was really good. Yeah. For free on Kindle Unlimited, fantastic.
Yes.
Because those are hit or miss. So
I'm so excited for our next one.
Yeah. Well, let us know if you've read this book in the comments, and let us know what you think about the next one. And we'll see you next time.